Sandro Botticelli was born in 1445 in Florence, Italy. He grew up during a time when Florence was flowing with the arts. Artists, philosophers, and great minds flocked to the city, where intellectual thought was celebrated, and they were free to trade ideas. Botticelli grew up in the beginning of what would become known as the Italian Renaissance, a thriving, vibrant time to live in Florence. In school, Botticelli was restless, hyperactive with a love for practical jokes, and a gift for drawing. When he was 14, Botticelli got his wish and was taken out of school to begin his artistic training. His teacher was Filippo Lippi, who legend has it was captured by pirates and kept as a slave for 18 months, and only given his freedom after offering his skills as a painter. Lippi taught Botticelli the art of fresco painting, along with instilling in the young artist a confident control of form. Botticelli acquired various skills and techniques after training under his master. At 15 years old, Botticelli opened his own workshop. Lippi acquainted the young artist with the Medici family, under whose patronage Botticelli thrived. The Medici were one of the most powerful families in Florence, former wool merchants who became astronomically wealthy after moving into banking. With their massive wealth, they funded art, sculpture, and architecture projects all over Florence. The Medici commissioned portraits, religious, and mythological scenes from Botticelli, which he painted with beauty and a soft sense of form. The artist of beauty, Botticelli, was never married, but legend has it was madly in love with Simonetta Vespucci, a married noblewoman who was well known throughout all of Florence for her unmistakable beauty. Tragically, she died only at the age of 22, and it is said that the lovesick Botticelli continued to place her in his paintings throughout his life. By the time he was in his 30s, Botticelli's reputation was in such high regard that he was summoned by the Pope to paint frescoes on the walls of the Sistine Chapel. Botticelli painted the life of Moses and the last temptations of Christ. Roughly 30 years later, Michelangelo painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel and dazzled the world. In his middle age, Botticelli saw the peace and prosperity of Florence sieged by invasion and plagues. The Medici, having become all too powerful in the eyes of Florence's citizens, were expelled from the city, and Botticelli lost their patronage and his main source of income. In his old age, his work fell out of favor, and he fell on hard times. Botticelli must have felt lost when he came under the influence of Friar Savonarola. Savonarola was a preacher who had come into a position of power during the fall of the Medici family. His moralistic voice filled the streets, warning of tyrannical governments and eternal damnation. Botticelli's paintings answered Savonarola's cries for religion and deep morals, yet Botticelli's work would be eclipsed by the likes of Michelangelo and Da Vinci, and he'd be nearly forgotten until the late 19th century, when he was rediscovered. Botticelli lived during a time of thriving commerce and artistry. He created many early masterpieces under the patronage of the Medicis that showed beauty and represented the early highs of the Renaissance.